Good evening and welcome to this concert by the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra titled Celebrate America. I'm Clint Barrick, station manager at Classical 105.7, your home for classical music on the radio. We have a wonderful program tonight, and we certainly want to give a shout out to Hannah Jackson, who is our special spotlight performer this evening prior to the concert. Tonight, the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra begins with music by Morton Gould and Charles Ives. And here to tell us about that is the music director and conductor of the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra, Maestro David Cho. David, welcome back to the program. You've picked an American concert and American music. It begins with Gould and Ives. Tell us about them.
It's a little bit of an early celebration of 250th birthday of our wonderful country, and we're so excited to kick off the program with Morton Gould's American Salute. It has the direct quote of our folk song, Johnny Comes Marching Home, and it's full of bright, brassy colors, rhythmic vitality, and variations that transform the familiar melody into a showpiece of American resilience and hope.
A lot of energy, fast tempo, really get the audience warmed up, right?
Yes, and following Morton Gould's piece, we have Charles Ives. He's an American composer who was a businessman turned into a composer, and his music was sort of in the back of my mind because we want to feature the chestnuts and the famous Beethoven symphonies. Nonetheless, sometimes we need to balance our listeners' diet with some mixed greens and vitamins. This is a wonderful opportunity to feature just a snippet of his Symphony No. 1.
And Charles Ives does this wonderful thing with a set of variations, and I believe this also began as an organ piece. Is that correct?
Yes. We're playing in an arrangement done by another American, William Schumann. Ives' music can certainly mystify some folks because his Variations on America is a witty, youthful organ work featuring 5 satirical variations on the national tune, My Country 'Tis of Thee. It showcases the innovative polytonality, contrasting styles like barbershop and waltz and virtuosic organ pedal work, often mocking stodgy variation forms.
Then we have music by Scott Joplin, a great American composer. He was famous for ragtime and ragtime works on the piano. What is ragtime?
Ragtime is an American musical genre primarily played on the piano. Popular from the late 19th century, characterized by highly syncopated, ragged melodies in the right hand of the piano against a steady march-like bass in the left hand. And we're familiar with a maple leaf rag and, of course, The Entertainer. We will feature Scott Joplin's The Entertainer tonight, arranged by another American composer, Gunther Schuller, and it features sort of a miniature chamber orchestra rendition.
Great, some ragtime music that'll be so welcome to enjoy. If you were thinking about great American composers, you might think of John Philip Sousa or some others, but there's one name that really always rises to the top, George Gershwin. And you've programmed some Gershwin on tonight's show. Tell us about it.
I have to say, George Gershwin was the Mozart, or Franz Schubert, among American composers. He wrote not only symphonic music, but with his brother Ira, wrote hundreds of songs during a very short lifespan, unfortunately. An American in Paris is a staple to our symphony repertoire, and we have ordered 2 sets of taxi horns, one that sounds harmonious to what is going on, and one that is so kind of out there. And I really believe symphony orchestras misinterpreted George Gershwin's instructions in his score. He writes, for the percussion part, taxi horn A, B, C, D. A lot of us thought they were the notes A natural, B natural, C natural, and D natural. However, we found an old photo of George Gershwin holding on to this set of taxi horns that he bought in Paris, in an odd shop, and they were not A, B, C, D. They were just small, and this humongous taxi horns. In his premiere recording, the taxi horns really sound like they shouldn't be as part of the harmony of what's going on in the orchestra. So, can we take this opportunity to have our audience vote for which rendition they like?
Sure. We'll just have a test and get a vote, okay? So here is option number 1. And here is option number 2.
So audience members, applaud if you liked option number 1. And again, audience members, applaud if you liked option number 2. Well, I hope that was obvious, and we will go with our audience's choice.
Lubbock Symphony Orchestra in concert next, celebrating America.